Guys, what's up, kids? Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, guys, I'm going to be showing how to solve the 2x2. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So as you all know, 2x2 is the easiest cube. By the way, it's not the easiest. 3x3 is always the most better one and the better one to learn because it's going to help you guys how to solve a 3x3. I mean 4x4, 5x5, and the bigger cubes. But 2x2 is just a fun cube. So we're going to be learning how to solve the 2x2. 2x2 is very simple. There's only 2 layers, so hence it's known as 2x2. 3x3, 3 layers. 4x4, 4 layers. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, same thing goes on. And so today is a 2x2. We're going to be teaching you guys how to solve the 2x2. Very simple cube. There are a couple of algorithms to learn because the basic method is pretty tricky and it's going to make you think a lot more. And you know what is the issue with thinking a lot is the time. You'll lose a lot of time. And so yeah. So today we're going to be teaching you guys how to solve the 2x2. It's very simple. So let's get right into it. First things first, to solve a cube is that you have to decide which white you're going to be doing first. So since there's 4 whites here, I can use this as my base white and start my cube and make this oriented. And if I want to use this as my base white, I can do something like this and use this as my base white. So you have to remember which white you're going to be choosing right now, which corner. So there's only corners, unlike here there's edges. And the other thing is that there's no centerpieces. There's no centerpieces in this cube. So that's why you have to decide which white you have to be using, which white corner you have to be using. So for example, I'm going to be using this white side, then I'm going to be doing like this, and I'm going to be connecting them like that and orienting them. So this is one way of doing it. So in a different case where I'm supposed to use a different white side, so for example in this situation I'm going to be using this white side, okay? And so to use it I'm going to be doing something like that and then orienting it. So yeah, so this is some important thing that you have to remember. You should be choosing which white side. You have to choose white side. Which white side you're going to be choosing, it is really important. So for example, as I said, if you're choosing this one, you have to do this one. You have to connect to these both, and so it has to be aligned. And then if you're going to be choosing a different white side, then that has to be aligned. So this is something very important. This applies to all the different colors, maybe green. There's 4 greens to choose, so you have to choose which green side. Same thing with yellow and all the other parts, all the other colors. So yeah, this is just an important explanation that I wanted to give you guys. So yeah, now let's start with making the colors. So as you all know, we always start with the important one, which is white. This applies to all the cubes. You can start with any color you want. White, yellow, red, blue, orange, green. So whatever color you want, you can start with. But preferably it's white because it's more easy. It's the most easiest color to recognize, and yellow. So yeah. As you can see, this is what it is. So the first thing you have to know is that it's the cube, so you're gonna make the white side, right? It should not be like this. So let me just give you a quick example of what I mean. So it should not be like this. Sorry. It's not like this. So it should not be oriented like this, where you can see that the colors are different, where the white side is done, but the corners are different. The same thing applies to 3x3. So when you're kids, when you're trying to solve the cube, you make the first side, but the sides are not oriented. Like this is connected with this. This is connected like that. So that is very important. The orientation is very important. So this is for the basic beginners method. When you come to the professionals, you don't require it. So yeah, but yeah. So this is how it's supposed to be. So what we have to do is to orient each and every side. That's why I'm telling you to choose what side. So for now, at this situation, I'm going to be choosing this side, which is the blue, red, and white. So white is our main. So yeah. And so the next thing I'm going to be doing is you can either do this side or this side if you wish to. You can't do this side because it's going to be difficult, but yeah, you can do this side or this side, the diagonal ones. So if you're choosing this one, you can do the other two that is next to each other, next to them. And you can do this one, but it'd be a little difficult to manage that. And so, of course, always better to go by line. So yeah. So I'm going to start with the red, since the red is already over here. So what I can do in this situation is I can do this, U2. And now, as you can see, I can do U2. And then I can do, again, another U2. And this part will be corrected. And then now the next part is very simple. You can orient this one. See, as you can see, red, blue, and white. So connect it like that. And the final color you get is this color here. And so in this situation, you can use this, algorithm. So you can use the R, U2, R prime, U prime. So yeah, I would recommend you guys to learn the 3x3 methods. So that would be very easy. You can watch my 3x3 where I have all the algorithms listed. So yeah. So here what you do is very simple. You want to orient this. So you just, keep using this algorithm. I don't know if you guys know it, but yeah, this is the algorithm here. I'll leave the important algorithm in the description. So we're done with the first side, which is the easiest one to do, which requires barely no thinking. In the 3x3, you have a couple of thinkings to do. So yeah, this requires no thinking. It's very simple. You can use RU. This is the algorithm, as you can see. Sorry, this is the algorithm. RU, R prime, U prime, RU, R prime, U prime, RU, R prime, U prime. Keep doing it faster. That's how you do it. So you keep using it faster. So yeah, so you keep doing it faster, and that's how you get it. And so here we have a couple of cases. So in 3x3, we have something known as OLL. So let me just give you an example of an OLL. So this is an OLL case, as you can see, where the yellow are not facing upwards. And so as you can see, we have a similar case here where the yellows are not upwards. So there's this, and so there are like 7 algorithms to learn here, which is similar to the 3x3 one. So let me show you. So this is similar to the 3x3 version of this algorithm. So this is a similar case, as you can see, where the yellow, you have to only focus on the yellow. Do not look up. You just focus at the yellows, where they're like this. So this is one very easy case in 3x3. So this is the same thing. One yellow like this, yellow like this, back, and then one is like in the front. So this is very simple case here. And so on the 2x2, you have a different algorithm. This is a very simple one. Instead of using the 3x3, you can just use F, R, U, R prime, U prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, and you can get the case. This is very simple. Whereas in 3x3, you have a much difficult one. So you have a much difficult one. So yeah, you can slow it down, but I'm just doing it fast so that you'll know it. So yeah, so now we come to the PLL case. So this is how you do the PLL. So as you can see, this is the 3x3. This is an example. And of course, the 3x3 is much bigger, so you have more PLLs. And here we have, as I said, OLLs. There's 7 OLLs, which all of them apply to 3x3. But yeah, they do have different algorithms. So a couple of them, only a couple of them have different algorithms. I'll leave them in the description and, make a video on what are the different types of OLLs. OLLs and PLLs. So yeah, of course, PLLs I don't need to show, but OLLs, there's 7 OLLs to learn. So I'll make a video, separate video on it, maybe pretty much after this video. So make sure you note that there's 7 OLLs to study, and there's 5 PLL. There's only 2 PLLs to study, whereas in 3x3 you have 21 PLLs and 56 OLLs, 57 if I'm not wrong. So you have a lot of OLLs to study. It's just a bigger version. And so this is one OLL that I wanted to show you guys. This is one PLL. So what you do that in this situation is that the white part, the yellow parts are all upward. They're all facing up, but it's all scrambled. It's not like correct. It's not correct. So you're going to be orienting them. You're going to be essentially swapping these yellow pieces, like this one to here, this one to here. So yeah, this is one case here. This is a very unlucky case if you get it in a cube, but yeah, you can do it. So it's very simple. As you can see, it's like this, like this, and so that's how you solve it. And the same thing applies over here. You have the same case here, where not the same case, completely different case, but you have to swap these two here. So that's what it is. Much less swapping to be done. So this is very simple algorithm. Do that, and you do something like that. Voila, you solve it. So there are 2 PLLs to learn. There is one PLL which is similar to the 3x3, exactly the same. 2 of them are exactly the same to the 3x3, so it's very simple. You do like this. So this is the V perm, if I'm not wrong. This looks like a trident. This looks like a arrow. That's how you can remember it. So this is like a V perm, as you can see, where these 2 sides are oriented and these 2 sides are oriented, and you have to swap these 2 along with these 2. So this is the swapping technique. So you swap like this and like this. Like this. So that's why it kind of looks like a trident, like a T, like a trident. So that's what it is. I guess it's called Y perm. I don't know how it's called. But yeah, and here the same thing, but of course with much less swap to be done. As you can see, there's only these 2 sides to be swapped. Whereas here, you have to swap these 2 and these 2. And so it applies the same algorithm. And then the next algorithm you have is a very famous algorithm, which it's very satisfying to do, which is known as the T perm. So this is how you do it. And it's very easy. It's actually 2 OLLs together, mixed up together. And so at this situation, you perform the V perm, where these both are swapped, where you have to swap these both. Whereas if you learn the basic method, you have to give a completely different algorithm, and you have to try to swap them out. But yeah, this is such an easy thing. So what you do is, you just do the OLL, like this, and voila. Oh shit. This is the algorithm you're going to be performing. Very simple. So what you do is, in the case where you have to swap these both, is very simple. You do like this, 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 like this. So there's actually 2 things you're performing. You're performing 2 OLLs together, and the same thing will be happening in the next case, where you'll be performing 2 OLLs. So the next case is actually this, where these both are swapped, where these both are aligned and these both are swapped. And so at this situation, you perform the most famous PLL, which is the T perm, which goes like this. That's it. That's how simple it is, guys. That's how simple it is. This is the most famous perm on 3x3. So you perform it like this. Note that you can actually do it in any side you wish to. So if it's this case, the swapping case, So if the swapping case, you can perform it like this, anywhere, and it'll give you the right answer. So as you can see, it'll give you the right cube, right, solving. So whereas on T-perm case, you can only do the sides where it's unoriented. So let me just show you guys. So on T-perm case, you can't do something like this where these both are unoriented and this is both oriented. You can't do it like this. You can only do it like this where you're going to orient these when you're going to swap these both. So you can only do it like this, or you can do it like this if you wish to. So you can do it like where the lines are corrected or where the lines are not corrected. So if you do like this, where the lines are not corrected, or like if you do like that other way around also, it won't work. Because what happens is you're anyways going to be swapping these both. So the whole technique is to swap these both, so that's why you're going to perform that algorithm. So if you're doing it, if it's like this, where it's already corrected, it's only going to get swapped like that. Let me just show you. It won't be solved, so it's only going to get swapped. As you can see, the red was over here. The red was over here, now it was swapped. This line, I mean this cube, this yellow was over here at the beginning, and it got swapped. So make sure you only do it in the places where it's supposed to be swapped, which is these both. So yeah, that's what you have to remember. So it gets swapped, and so that's why it's going to be very difficult for you guys to solve. And it's going to be it's not going to be possible to solve it. So these are the two PLLs. One is where you have to swap these both. One is where you have to swap these both, and the other is where you have to swap like these both. And note that the one that is where you can swap like this diagonally, you can do it in any way you want. And then the next case where you want to swap, you have only two places where you can do, where there's already one line which is solved or one line which is not solved. So make sure remember that. You should never do it in a way there is like two of them unsolved, like this is unsolved, this is unsolved, and that won't work. So yeah, the same thing here. In 3x3 it's different, it's completely different. But yeah, in 3x3 it's like this. I'm going to show you. You have to look at its orientation. So when it's only like this, at this orientation where there's like two lines over here, at this situation only you can perform the perm. At this situation where it's like this, that's where you can perform it. Whereas if you do it in the other way around, like this over here, it won't work. You get a different OLL, which is completely different. And so here also same thing, you do a different algorithm exactly at that spot, like how it's supposed to look like where it's supposed to be. That's how you can do it. So yeah, and this one is a different one, which is like this. So that's how you solve it. So this is what it is. We've learned two PLLs, and the OLLs I'll leave it in the comments, in the descriptions, and of course I'll also do a complete video on all the OLLs, because it's going to be some time. It will be taking some time for you guys to learn. So to wrap the video up, we have learned two PLL algorithms, and I'll just show you a couple of the OLLs right now, just quickly. So we have this case where it's like this, where you perform this, FRU, R perm, U perm, F perm, and you have another case where it's like this, similar, but instead of just doing this, you do again RU, R perm, this like this, yeah, like that. So you get to that case, which is a different one. Let me just show you. So you do something like this, and gets up. That's how simple it is. So you have two of the similar algorithm. The difference is that the other one you perform twice. And then you have one more algorithm that I showed you, which was actually not completely I didn't show you guys completely. It was just a little different. So what was that? It's very simple. It's just this algorithm. Just a second. Okay, so it's this case where it's like this. And so at this situation, what you do is like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, and it gets solved. Very simple. So now you have this case, which is the case where you have like a Sune case, and this is called anti-Sune, where the line where there's a one block on the left side. So you do like this. It's all very easy cases to learn. And you have the other one, which is called Sune, the right side Sune. So you do the same thing, but it should be the right side. So just a second, we do it twice. Okay, so this is the right Sune. How you do is very simple, the same thing, but on the right side. And then you have another case, which is very famous. So you have another case where you do something like this. So this is like when there's two blocks diagonally, and so what you do is you keep it like this at this orientation where the where the yellow is following you, facing you, not like this. Oh yeah, where the yellow is facing you, and this side is going to be like that. And this yellow should be facing the left side. So what you do is you take like this, and you can solve it. You can pause the video so that you can see it. You can watch it slowly, and it's a very simple algorithm. See this case, and what you do is you do it like that, and voila. So these are a couple of them I showed you. There's still a couple more. So yeah, I did show you a couple of them. I'll do a complete video on explaining all the OLLs. I mean all the 7 OLLs, which are also the 3x3 basic OLLs that you have to learn. Not gonna confuse you guys. That's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you subscribe. Very simple cube to solve. And do not learn the beginner's method because it's very difficult. This is the intermediate in-between method. So it's going to be very easy for you guys to solve. See you guys next time. Goodbye.